action on climate change. Climate change has been treated like an elitist thing. Government talking about climate change, government trying to mobilize people to speak on climate change, basically amongst urban dwellers and people holding blue chip portfolio. But climate change is something that should be taken seriously by everybody all over the world. It doesn't concern one country. It concerns all of us. It's a threat to humanity unless we reverse issues relating to climate change. It may lead to an unbearable life for humanity. So we should own it. We should take it to schools. We should take it to where people speak and listen. We should take it to social circles. We should take it to religious centers. It's about all of us. Of course, the effect will be much more in some countries than the other. I listened to Prime Minister of a country talking about the effect in his country, and I'm appalled. And that's how it's going to continue. Now people think nature is taking its course and that all this climate change thing is not a serious discussion. I was engaged on a debate with somebody in the social media, and he told me that there is nothing like climate change. A highly educated person. He said, in fact, it's safer to build on water because we enjoy nature. When we are talking about flooding and the implication in the future, now we have 5 or more than 5 trillion plastic floating in the ocean. We're used to the convenience using plastic gives us, but the implication is high because it is produced through the use of fossil fuel. 5 trillion. That's more than half of the population of people living in the world. Plastic floating in the ocean. These are not degradable things. It could live there for several years to come. And that is not the implication alone. It's going to affect the aquatic life. I heard that very soon we will be eating plastic fishes. So, why don't you reuse the plastic you have used? Stop carrying plastic shopping bag. Rather, buy a shopping bag, a jute bag that can last for several years to come. Because on average, plastic or nylon is used for a short time and dispensed with. And every minute, people are using millions of plastics and nylons. And this is eating into the environment because of the use of fossil fuel. Eat more plants. Because livestock create 14.5% of greenhouse gases emission. So eat less meat. In some countries they're talking of herdsmen, blah blah blah. But even now it's recommended that you should eat more plants because of the percentage of greenhouse gases of coming in from livestock. Buy local food instead of traveling. So when you buy local food, you don't need to travel, which helps to reduce its carbon footprint. Buy clothes that last. Fashion creates 8% of greenhouse gases and contribute to landfills. And in the developing country, people are buying the whole world of fashion. I've gone to see a tailor, and somebody came with 15 different clothes to be made for different occasions. People brag about somebody not wearing a clothes twice for a long time. Some people have wardrobe the size of a flat filled out with clothes. Well, this is constituting 8% of greenhouse gases. That's a lot. Turn off lights when not in use. Lighting creates 15% of power consumption and 5% of greenhouse gases. So, it's not because you are even willing to pay the bill. If you are not using light, turn it off. Unplug appliances like computers and televisions. Households consume about 30% of household equipment, consume about 30% of worldwide energy. Well, it's expected that you provide some level of comfort for yourself in the house, and electricity is very important, but when not in use, unplug it. People put on all sorts of appliances, forget about the implication in terms of spark or any other problem that could lead into disaster in the house if there is upsurge, which happens sometimes, though rarely. But also, make sure you unplug them. People are traveling, they leave all the appliances there running. That's why I've said we should own this campaign. You should see it as yours. It's getting difficult for people to buy into this campaign because, especially the older people, they believe that in few years' time, their time may be over. So what is their business worrying about the hearth? That is unfair. You are and heart that was livable was bequeathed to you by the last generation. So you should leave a healthy planet for the growing and the coming generation. We should take this to homes where parents will discuss with their children. We should take it to school where school will teach it as part of all the courses, not only sciences alone. We should take it to motor parks. We should translate it to different languages that people can understand. We should dramatize it. We should put it into place and let people know the implication on humanity. Everybody is talking about it, but many people are not owning it. It should be something that we see as we hear, we breathe. Yes, we should reduce production. We are overproducing things in the world. New cars are coming into the market every day. Manufacturing companies are producing every day things that are important, things that are not important. Manufacturers are lobbying to ensure that their products are acceptable without some of them not complying with environmental standards. Government should enforce it as a law. Companies should be made to give birth in society in terms of educating the people on the implication. Companies should contribute to this campaign. Well, businesses will always be there and will always be out of there. But the planet heart will remain there. We have seen the birth and exit of several businesses over the years. but the planet Earth is sacrosanct. It will remain there, where those who are doing big businesses and small businesses will have to live. People don't have to pay for what they didn't consume. A lot of people are innocent of these issues, but some people who are supposed to be sanctioned are left unsanctioned. Okay, fine, if you say they should get away with it, but let people aware or be aware of the implication of what they are doing individually, collectively, and corporate organizations. Countries and companies should take this campaign to the top burner, because once we have a reversal of the state of heart now, we live a comfortable life. Heat will reduce, flooding will reduce, we have more agricultural produce. We should be able to educate our people on population control. The figure we have now in the world is making everybody to struggle for the limited resources, and so you cannot reduce production. Crisis is getting higher. Arms conflict, people producing arms, civil unrest, etc. And all these things are having effect on the planet Earth and affecting the ozone layer because of the things we use. We should stop fighting wars. We should promote peace in the world. We should stop cutting trees. And where you cut one, replace it with 100 if possible. We should stop burning trees to cook. We still have that in developing countries. Trees that have been grown for more than 40 years, they fall it down and turn it to charcoal to cook. Far less than the value. Something that is worth hundreds of dollars is reduced to less than $1. We should educate people on this. And once we're able to put all of these things in place, humanity will begin to live a better and decent life. And there will be less threats to the globe. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do share and like.